Back on this thing again. Yeah. Guess I'll share this thing. Retweet on Twitter. On Twitter. All right, so I'm about to get this thing started, even if nobody's on here yet. So I guess I'll just talk to the person and project this to the person in the future that's watching the replay. So the person in the future, or if you're on this, make sure that you share this with everybody so they know if there's somebody that's having some type of spiritual awakening, that they are able to understand what it's going to take and what it's going to be like and what it feels like to a person that's really doing this. You know what I mean? Just, because I'm not saying that I'm the super successful person that's starting a spiritual based business type model, but the more I understand this world and the more I understand the occult knowledge behind everything, it starts to make a lot of sense of why certain people's passions or things that they want to do in life, even when it comes to abundance, they're not progressing. Because one thing I do talk about a lot, I used to talk about more and often, was abundance, law of attraction and everything else. The name of my business, it is called Would You Well Strategy. That's the business assumed name, which is really based on abundance and spirituality. But I created my personal brand through that called Enlightened Networker, which is really, my personal brand. It's my personal brand. But a lot of these people with spiritual based businesses or any types of businesses, they'll have their assumed name and whatever brand they have, especially if they're promoting either online or offline. Because in some places you don't have to have your assumed name all the time. You just want to create a business name so you actually are doing something that you're passionate about. That way you get into benefits as an entrepreneur in this dimension. So, and when you understand the occult knowledge about what they're doing with other people's businesses, like different corporations like Target, Walmart, and things like that, and when your third eye is open, you start to understand that they're using different types of esoteric and occult knowledge to keep things going in their business, even though if you don't believe it or not. But you need to keep your eyes open about the symbols, the sigils, the things that they have on their businesses and their logos. Now, is it okay to do magic and things on your personal business, your spiritual based business and everything else? I would say yes, because, it's just like if you were to do a spell or a prayer for your business. You want your business to progress. You have, you know, in an esoteric sense, you have spirit guides are pretty much telling you to do things. Like my guides are always encouraging me to do more of the spiritual based business because that's, you know, what I really desire to do. That is my intent. But I'm doing what I can as far as with the resources that I have to make sure that the business is going to be something that I'm very passionate about, that's going to create a lot of income, but also going to create a lot of knowledge and teachings to people to change people's lives. I want to transform everybody's lives that's either having a spiritual awakening or not having one. I want to either help people with trying to figure out what their passion is and tapping into that, tapping into their divine beingness. Even on other aspects of my business model, my spiritual business model, I'm also talking about different things as far as like network marketing, MLM, and things like that, because those type of opportunities, people's mind are just really gone on those things. There's plenty of opportunities and abundance around you if you get your mind out of this program, this 9 to 5 program. And I really want to tap into that a little bit because really the 9 to 5 program, you know, there's really an esoteric knowledge behind that too. You know what I mean? You're going to work your whole day. You know what I mean? You're going to work all the days to work to enslave yourself into somebody else's business entity. You know, entity. We all know what entity is, right? Especially on a spiritual level. Entity, that's something that's actually formed itself and is actually alive. And if you understand that your business is pretty much like a living, breathing organism, and you have other people putting their energy, their 9 to 5 energy into that, living paycheck to paycheck and everything else, putting everything into just that one paycheck, then you know that that person is not going to be as abundant as somebody who's trying to create multiple streams of income. And again, you have to create some type of multiple streams of income based on the system and the matrix that they have us in. But if you're not trying to do that and you're still in that program, which I like to call it poverty consciousness, where you're just saying you're going to do something, you don't do it, or you're saying I'm going to make money, you don't do these things, and you're not consistently, you know, creating these habits where you're actually trying to make more money and increase your whatever it is. I mean, like straight just hustling as much as you can to the point where it's just like there's no time for playing. There's really no time for games, and you really focus on that so strongly, you'll see on a occult level that you'll attract these opportunities into your life just automatically. You know, I mean, that's pretty much how this things work. But there's these programs, these different types of programs that they have out here, like just, you know, get a job here. You know, the first thing people's minds think like, well, to make more money, I'm going to get another job, or to make more money, I'm going to work this, or when to get more money, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to do all these things. Now, I'm not knocking college or anything else, you know what I mean? But, you know, for me and a lot of other people that are awakened, they want to do something that they're really, really passionate about. When your third eye is open, this thing makes you just want to just quit your job tomorrow. You don't want to keep doing you don't want to keep doing the same thing all the time. You don't. You know what I mean? You have a message from higher self telling you that, hey, you can do whatever you want and however you want based on what your intentions are and what you want to project into this reality, to manifest and to solidify and to, you know, solidify itself into this reality. So when I first started Wood Well strategy, what I was talking about money and how you manifest it, and pretty much, you know, online marketing, different business opportunities I'm a part of. I noticed to spiritual wealth on Periscope, I do go into that topic a lot, because really, when you're making money, it is a spiritual wealth type process that's going on, that is going on in your mind and your thoughts and your emotions and your desires. You are the alchemist of what you're doing when you're creating wealth in this dimension. You're you're putting things together, parts and pieces, different emotions, different business models, different opportunities, different things, and you're creating this thing or this something, like we should say an entity, which is a business model. Again, it's still an occult term. And, you're creating a life out of it, through either your passion or something that's creating you a certain amount of income. Or, like I like to call it the money talisman. Because money, what is money? Money is something of non-value turned to value. And you can learn a lot from money in your life if you follow that models yourself. But if you're somebody that's out here just trying to enslave them by this money or this talisman or this this occult fucking which I like to call it, okay, this magical thing or this magical thing, I don't know, I like to call money, it's paper, whatever it is, it's worthless, it's really worthless, then you can learn a lot. Now, one thing that really, I look into as far as magic is, necromancy, that type of magic. And why would I look into something like that? Because really that magic is based on bringing, resurrecting things from the dead, right? And I noticed that there's a lot of books that you cannot find. There's a lot of books that you cannot find on necromancy. And I know that for a reason, because really, you talk about that money there, they're taking a piece of paper, they're putting symbols and things on these things to take your energy into this whole current of energy with the 9 to 5, and they're putting your whole being into this money, energy, your whole projection of money and reality, what you need in this life, into this to create your life. People say things like money is everything. Like, there's letting you know that there's a lot of magic around this thing, even if you don't believe it or not. If you don't believe it or not, let me tell you something. These things, these type of occult knowledges that I've been studying and just applying certain principles either in your business, these things do work. Like, for me, I say, for example, like, when I started Light Network, I knew that there was a certain calling. I wanted to create a business or something that I was really passionate about doing every single day. Besides, on the other hand, on the other back end, I'm over here doing network marketing, things like that, trying to make money, making money here and there. I made my first $80 online, great. It still wasn't consistent, so something was missing. And one thing that changed the game for me is understanding the whole concept of branding yourself and online, but not just as a network marketer, right? But branding yourself as just who you are and your brand, whatever you are, as your business, your passion, whatever that is. Like, okay, so what is it that I really talk about when I understand widget wealth strategies? Or should my assumed business name be widget wealth strategies? No, to me, I just feel like the calling for me, it was that telling me to, like, change what's going on in your business. Then again, just like you have your spiritual awakening, it's going to change, a lot about what you are and what you're about. And that's why I started Light Networker. It really suits what I do, because again, I talk about spiritual concepts all the time, and I also like to network either with other people or different types of opportunities behind the scenes. You don't see me on here like I used to, talking about, make $300, $400 a day. That stuff is really dried out. Stuff is really dried out. And the reason why it dried out is because, again, well, first, it hasn't worked for me. If it hasn't worked for you, great. If it has worked for you, great. But again, you can't be part of the noise all the time if you're in this type of business model of world of network marketing stuff, because I like to study their method, their strategies on marketing. But I know a lot of that stuff is really, really generic type information. We call that a lot of generic type of information. Now, when I started studying about NLP, neurological programming, and things like that, I noticed that the sales and all these things have little patterns to them. Different types of patterns of way you're talking, everything from hypnotic type storytelling, and hypnotic sales conversion rate, these things, and trying to figure out, I know all these things and I'm doing all these things like they're telling me to do, but there's still something missing behind these things. And then it's like, you know what is the main thing I talked about a lot? And it was spirituality. So I started to talk about spirituality, abundance a lot, but just helping people become more spiritual and understanding that they are divine being. It's really been something that I'm really passionate about, where I'm not even worried about whatever money that I'm attracting into my life or opportunities. Like, I don't even care if I don't make a dime doing anything, but it would be better if I was able to create that type of wealth based on what I'm talking about on a consistent basis and what I'm doing. So again, understanding your spiritual based business model really doesn't have anything to do with marketing systems and everything else. I'm a famous, psychic reader. I've been on CNN and anything else. You just need to start with what you're passionate about. And even if you don't have any type of spiritual awakening, or you're a tarot card reader, or you're worried about being the little fish in the big pond, you need to get started, because you never know exactly who's listening to you and who really is benefiting from the value that you're having. And part of what I was saying about the money is creating paper into value, aka kind of like, bringing the dead back to life. Again, you're pretty much you're actually transforming your life by bringing your value to life. You're creating value, bringing value to life. And again, me seeing all these synchronicities, which are really not coincidences, that I noticed there was a link to spirituality and abundance. And then I had, again, an aha moment, or maybe a spark of intuition that, I needed to do something about my business model when it comes to talking about spirituality. And so, again, I'm constantly trending about the Enlightened Networker, and I understand that there's things I need to do to keep the business funded, or the things going, and to keep it comfortable for me so I can do what I need to do, even if I do have a 9-to-5 where I'm not a 9-to-5 where it's just 40 hours a week, and I'm able to do what I can do part-time until I actually have a massive breakthrough. One thing I would encourage for everybody to do is, if you're having a spiritual based business, is first you need to create content. I was talking about this with somebody else. You need to create content, and you need to have videos, contents and videos. There's a lot of spiritual people that hide their face and everything else, and that's great, but you want to let people know who you are. You want to let the people know that you're watching, your third eye is open, and you're letting people know that this is exactly what we're doing. We're actually going to take our lives back. If you're in that spiritual business type model, or if you're just awakened, you need to have the attitude where we're going to be the pioneer of this thing. And it may not be profitable, because just being a psychic reader, talking about spirituality, that's really not the most profitable thing. Just face it, it's not, until you start to use the occult and magical principles that you talk about. And so, again, that goes back to the whole thing. So you use magic in your business. So you use different types of occult principles. Well, everybody else is, aren't they? Everybody else is. You just got to keep your eye open. You know, I was looking at this thing. I think it was the Google Play. You know, I don't know if you have, I don't know if what phone you have. I don't know if it's Droid or whatever. But I was looking at this picture that this guy, very, very well known spiritual teacher that's very underrated, which he should be, you know, overrated, right? Again, this is what I'm saying. The spiritual community is just, people just looking at it like these motherfuckers is crazy, right? But again, these, if you have a Droid phone, look at that phone and you see like it's made out of a square. And it has like these symbols, right? So you look at a little square, the symbol of the Google Droid, the Google store. Now compare it. Now go Google up the sigil of Lucifer, right? And try to compare those things. And when you compare those things, you'll understand. You will really understand that these people are trying to really use magical principles in their logos and their symbols and sigils on everything. You don't have to believe me or not, but just go Google that up real quick and compare. Just start comparing these things. This is what I call doing a Google search with your third eye open. You'll be like, whoa, okay. Doing a Google search with your third eye open. Once you start doing a Google search with your third eye open, it's a lot different than just doing a Google search and you're trying to research a lot of stuff. I've noticed that when I'm looking for something, I'm being drawn and guided to find information fast. Even when it comes to my business, like when it comes to marketing and things like that, it's pretty much apparent that it's either coming in my path because I'm attracting it to my life, or that I'm looking in the right information, and it keeps leading to more and more and more information that Google's putting there for me. But again, I'm still going through the process because I know Google is a occult term in itself. I don't know, I think it means like 1,000 or something megabytes or something like that. But again, you have to really understand that your business, your spiritual based business, as well as anything else, is pretty much automatically running on occult principles, but people enhance it with magic. Okay? But people who don't enhance it with magic, I'm not saying they're not able to be successful if you don't use magic in your business. So don't think I'm saying that. Don't even think I'm saying that. What I'm saying is that these type of magical principles and occult knowledges and putting them into your spiritual based business model and understanding these things is really going to change the game for you. You're going to have a philosophy. First off, you're going to have a philosophy. You're going to have a business model, and you're going to have something you're passionate about, and you're going to have something that is going to create a legacy or an empire. And really that's what you want to do, right? Or do you want to still be somebody that's just stuck in this thing that's just so frustrating, 9 to 5 loop that just keeps going on in your life? You just don't know how to get out of it. I'm telling you, the real way you can get out of this loop or this matrix that we live in with the whole money, trying to figure out money, the esoteric knowledge behind it, or the occult knowledge behind it, is to understand what you really are. It's a divine being. I really believe in that. If you don't believe that, that's fine. This is probably not the live stream from you. You don't have to really look at this replay, but you really need to understand that. And so if you're able to find any information on anything that's either as far as your spirituality, the occult, esoteric, and start comparing it to different business models and put it in your business model, then and you're not really like a greedy person, or you're not really a person that has really negative and bad intentions like a lot of people have to cut them off from certain information so they don't know, then you'll see exactly how your business will grow and how it will manifest things and opportunities into your path that will help guide you along the way to creating a life that you really want. You know what I mean? It's really a powerful thing. Like, I'm being guided to do what I do right now, but this is something I want to do. But, I have help. I know I have help. And the thing is that you have help too. You can get out of this thing. So if you're that person that's trying to build like a spiritual based business and you're not getting any tractions, you're not getting people to come to your readings, you're not getting people to do any live stream, you're not getting, like, I don't really have people in my live streams, do I? No, I don't. I'll sit up here and talk to myself all day, every day, if I have to, because I know somebody in the future is going to watch this live stream and it may benefit from it. If not, it's whatever. I'm going to share it where else. But again, at the same time, this is going to help me practice speaking in public too, talking to people, doing things, educating. And that's the thing. It's business. It's not just business, but it's just a message that is. It is a message that a lot of people don't want to buy into or don't want to invest in money in. Everybody does not want a reading all the time, and if they want it for free. Like I said, some people tell me like, "Oh, why do I charge for tarot card readings? Why do I do this?" And I have free tarot card readings. I give free spiritual advice. I give free spiritual advice as well. And I also, do free readings for people. But, again, I want to be able to do that as a business at the same time. It's not my intent to just charge you to death. People on Facebook. It's not my intentions to drain you dry of all your resources, right? It's not my intention. My intentions is to educate you on things, and if you want certain of my products and services, then I can exchange that with you for money. And that's really the exchange. That's having an abundant mindset and understanding abundance. Now, you might see a lot of things about abundance online, about how to be abundant and everything else, about law of attraction. But being in abundance, knowing that you want more and knowing that you are more, that's really the thing that needs to be ingrained in people. Abundance is something that, I believe that abundance is something that can't be taught. It's something that we need to teach ourselves, and more about in the area of where we need to understand our self-worth, that we deserve more. We deserve more. You need to do more. And in order to be and do more, and, all of those things. I don't really need to go into all that. We need to know that we're more. We need to do more to get those things. So, again, the money aspect of things, that if you can accumulate more money than you ever have, then it doesn't mean to necessarily to just go blow it off and do something else. You need to invest in something that either you're passionate about or want to create more money from. And you need to focus on that, and you need to build those consistent habits and stop being stuck in this mindset where it's just this reality is so hard and things. You need to break free from the cycle. And I believe that you understanding the occult and spiritual knowledge will break you free from a lot of things until you get to the business ideas and arena of that. But if you know how your mind operates on a spiritual level, and you understand marketing, you understand certain things, I'm telling you, you're going to get to a different level. You're going to get to a way different level. It may not be the next day, but you're going to manifest more opportunities and more things than you ever could imagine if you keep going. You have to keep going at what you're doing. Even if you're not making any money in anything that you're doing in your spiritual business, you have to keep going. This is very, 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 very important. The world needs more spiritual-based businesses out here. Just like we need more vegan restaurants. We need more people talking about cryptocurrency. We need more people talking about network marketing. We really do. We really need more people talking about these things. These things are types of opportunities that you notice that are shut down, And they do have people, groups of people that try to control these areas of wealth, or just opportunities itself, to try to stop you from doing that, because they know that you don't really have enough money to afford it. And if you don't have enough money to afford it, then what? They already know your mind will result back to their poverty consciousness, thinking that, oh, this costs too much, I can't do this, I'm not going to invest in it that much, so I'm just going to just not do it. I'm just going to get me a 9 to 5, work me a job, and retire. No, that stuff is broken. That stuff is broken. And if you want to keep being broken, then that's up to you. But the thing is, you have to be comfortable. You have to be comfortable not making any money in what you're doing and what you're passionate about. Let me say that again. You have to be comfortable. You have to be comfortable in not making any money in something that you're not passionate about. Because that is the name of the game of entrepreneurship in the first place. Because that's something that is going to happen from time to time when you're first getting started. Or it can happen for as long as you go until you try to figure out something else different for your business, your spiritual based business. I'm really talking to people that want to start a spiritual based business, but really this applies to any type of business, any passion driven type business that's creating a unique brand about something that's very either abnormal or not out in the open, especially in the spiritual community. That's why you see me in different pages and things. Like, I'm doing everything. I'm not just doing one thing. I'm doing everything, because I'm a fully abundant being. I'm an infinite being, but I'm an abundant being too at the same time. I'm in all avenues of things. But my main thing is understanding what I am on this dimension. I know what I am. And you know what you are too. You know what you want. You know what you desire. You have to really speak to these desires consistently and try to take action towards them to manifest them. You have to solidify these things. You have to. The world needs you. The world needs you. People need you. You need to find people that are like you, and that's another thing. Find people that are like you. If people are not like you, I'm gonna hit myself in the face. This stuff makes me excited though. If you don't find people that are like you, sometimes it's really hard for you to connect with them on a certain level. But if you can build an entourage of people that talk about the same thing you talk about, hey, that's going to be even more magic for everybody. It's good to surround yourself around people that think like you in certain areas, but don't have to necessarily think like you. But for me, I like to hang around people that talk about spirituality, witchcraft, things, all of those things. But I also like to hang around people who talk about network marketing, MLM, and I know a lot of those people's mindsets because they're really trying to get to a different level. And I also like to hang around people who like internet marketing, things like that too. But I know the core people that I usually like to hang around with. And those are the people that understand what's going on in this dimension. Those are probably the people I would probably spend the most time with. And those people I like those people because they know this, what we live in is an illusion. It's something that we need to first mentally get out of first so we can break free and then start to expand our value on the world to create the money and abundance that we want in our lives. So I don't know. So I just hope you guys understand that and make sure that you share this, share this everywhere you can. And, I just hope you guys understand this because, again, I know there's a lot of spiritual teachers out there that have some type of information they want to share, or they're afraid to share with other people. Just do it. First, start off with who you are. Get your blog. create some content, create some videos. Don't always accept the money. Keep doing it, but let them know that you stand behind what your price and your value is. You know your worth. And if you know your worth and people see your worth, they're going to give you money. If they see your worth and your value, they're going to give you money. And take a look, and with your third eye open, take a look at everything that's going on. The trends and everything. Everything from the music and stuff, even if you don't, all that stuff is garbage. Even though stuff is garbage, and as a divine being, it's something you don't care about, because I don't. I just look at it because that's what people like, I guess, right? They really love it, and I don't. Then, again, use whatever they have to create something else so you can educate them on what the truth is. Because that's what they do to your stuff. Like, you see a lot of people try to pervert the spiritual community about New Age spirituality and all this other stuff by trying to deceive people. That's what they do. And that's what I was talking about on the other live stream. These sub-programs. How you try to do things where people are not paying attention. Again, think of your spiritual-based business as a juggernaut. Don't think of it as just a little business. You need to think of your stuff as a corporation, a mega entity of all types of things. Again, don't always, in the first part I was talking about, don't always attend to one stream of income. Do not. You have to figure it out, how to invest in different things. You can't just be in just one area all the time. Now, if you have the credibility, you have the visibility on the media and everything else, it's going to be a lot easier for you. It is. It is going to be a lot easier for you, but do you really want to get around? You got to think about, as a spiritual-based business type person, do you really want to get around those people? You probably do in a certain sense, but you need to understand that you need to protect yourself, because those are the people that are doing the black magic, that they're, in a way, not just black magic is bad, but they're doing it in a way where it's actually, they're trying to extract a certain essence out of you. Keep your protection up too at the same time. I don't have nothing else to say. I don't know where everybody else on this live stream, but again, make sure you understand that, you know, your spiritual based business is needed in this world, in this dimension. And if you're looking to work with me, and I am forming the Enlightened Network, you know, give me a shot, give me a holler somewhere. You know, you can actually find me on Instagram, enlightenednetworker.net, Enlightened Networker on IG, on Instagram, facebook.com/Enlightened Networker, or facebook.com the Enlightened Networker. You know, it's the first letter is capitalized, and then on the THE on the the part, there's a 3 at the end. Right? It's my favorite number. So again, you guys got to understand that, you know, us as a spiritual business model, spiritual community, or, you know, we need to work together. Because again, I see a lot of these people out here just thinking separate, but I know a lot of people don't know each other. A lot of people think that in the spiritual community, somebody's all trying to put a hex on them or something like that. I already know. But again, let's just start reaching out. And when we reach out, let's keep these relationships going. But again, I hope whoever's watching this now or in the future, or ever how you're watching this, make sure you share this on social media. I will talk to you later, and I'll see you again on the next Sunday stream. I know it's kind of late on this one, but you know, I'm trying to make sure I'm not late. But again, if you're following me, you won't ever miss a live stream. Talk to you later.